this isn't in my notes, but the Lutherans that I've talked to so far still love me. Still love me, but I got to tell you one more fun thing, too. I was up in Alaska speaking for a youth conference up on the Yukon River in the middle of nowhere. And I mean nowhere. And I got there a day early, so the guy in the boat that goes up river at villages and picks up kids, he asked me if I wanted to go along. So I said, sure. So we're driving up and picking up kids, and we got to the last village, and the kids weren't ready. We got there too soon. So the guy that drove the boat said, you've got an hour to get your, all your stuff ready for camp, get your sleeping bags and everything. If you're not back here in an hour, you're going to miss camp this year. So there's a little wooden bench about this big, just sitting there, and where he parked the boat. And while we're sitting there, what do you call them? Those float planes that come in and land in the water? What?
Float plane.
Yeah, float plane, yeah. Okay. Float plane, yeah, okay. Anyway, I went over and sat down in this little bench, and while I'm sitting there, got an hour to waste, this float plane came in, landed on the water, came all the way over to where we were, and I thought, what in the world are they doing? Well, I didn't realize that behind me was a shed where they could bring a hose all the way down to the waterfront and where small planes could gas up. And 4 multimillionaires got off this plane touring Alaska for a week. And one of the 4 came over and decided to sit by me. Big mistake. And we got to talking. And I said, where are you from? He said, I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I said, that's where I was born. Oh, wow. And I said, my mom, took my twin sister and I moved from there after my dad left us. And I said, so I'm from Minneapolis too. And he said, well, I might as well tell you, I'm a full-blooded Norwegian. I said, so am I. I said, I'm a full-blooded Norwegian. And I said, can I ask you a question? Well, sure. I said, are you a Lutheran? He said, how did you know? I said, if you're living in that part of the country and you're a Norwegian from Minnesota, you got about a 90% chance of being Lutheran. And anyway, I said, what does it mean in your life? He said, absolutely nothing. And I said, I'm sorry. I can identify with that. I went for 20 years and it meant nothing in my life either. But let me tell you what happened in my life. And I walked him through my testimony, and I walked him through the gospel, which he had never heard. And he said, I'm not ready for, he said, I like what you're saying, but I don't think I'm quite ready yet. And that's okay. I don't want a premature birth, but I just want you to know exactly what it means to know Christ. And it's not church, it's not religion, it's not baptism, it's not confirmation. It's a relationship with a person who loved you enough to go to the cross for you. And that's what I love to tell people. Here's what I love to tell people. I'm loved. I'm forgiven. I've got a purpose for living. And if I don't wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to be with Christ forever. That's my hope. And I can help you with that kind of hope. Oh, I'm not. And then he got out his business card, handed it to me. Most beautiful business card I'd ever seen. And anyway, he got up to walk away from me. And you know what he said? I don't think it was an accident that I'm sitting on this bench. And I said, it's not an accident. You came from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I came from Gresham, Oregon. I'm sitting on a wooden bench on the Yukon River in central Alaska, and I just told you the greatest truth that you're ever going to hear, and you're right. It's not an accident. He said, yes, it's a divine appointment. Yeah. So I sent him some material, wrote him 2 more letters, didn't hear from him. How many of you kind of believe with me? He's going to be there. Boy, he's going to be there. This isn't in my notes either, but I wanted to. Did you know when they came to Spokane, when they toured the whole United States, showing giving us stuff about the Titanic? And I've always enjoyed reading about the Titanic, and I think most of you know about that. You know, April 15th, 1912, it went down. That ship sank, and 199 people on the Titanic went first class. And it cost them $2,500. Multi-millionaires were on the Titanic. And some went first class. Some went second class. And they only paid $75. Some went third class. And they paid $40. And then the rest, so first, second, and third class, and then the crew shoveling in the coal in the basement of the ship. There were it didn't say what they paid or if they paid at all. So 1,523 lost their lives that day, that night. 125 first-class people died. 168 second-class people died. 181 third-class people died. 529 people. And in the crew, 701 died. And the total, 1,523 people died when that Titanic went down. And I saw the display. And when I bought a ticket for the display, everybody got a ticket for somebody who was actually on the Titanic, who they were, what their age was, and what they were going to do on this when they got to where they were going. And my slip had a young man in his 20s, and he was going to the United States to visit some of his relatives. So I watched the display. They showed some of the clothing from the people. Anybody see this? They showed some of the clothing, some of the luggage and stuff from the Titanic. But on the door out, there's a gigantic list. There's a gigantic list of everybody on the Titanic and their name. So all of us that were standing around, I'm looking for my name to see if I made it. And I looked at my name and the young man that the ticket that I had, and it had S after his name on the wall. And then there was some other, everybody's name, the total of everybody. S, and then you know me, I'm running around. Did you make it? Did you make it? No, I was lost. No, I got an S. I was one that was saved. Isn't it interesting? Only an S and only an L was on every name. Not one person did they say first class, second class, third class, crew. It doesn't make a stinking bit of difference, does it? Whether you're going first class or shoveling coal. You better know Jesus or you're forever lost. And I feel that more powerfully all the time. But isn't that interesting about that? Oh, well, I can tell that wasn't that interesting, so. But, hey, I liked it. I'm saved. I got an S. Wouldn't it be awesome if everybody, not tomorrow, Sunday, but wouldn't it be awesome if Monday, if everybody we ever ran into every store, everything, there was either an S or an L on their shirt, then I'd know exactly who to go to.